On Sunday afternoon, Elfyn Evans easily won the Croatia Rally, propelling him to the top of the FIA World Rally Championship standings. The Welshman moved ahead of Tanak of the M Sport Ford Puma on the rest of the rally to win by 27 seconds in a Toyota GR Yaris after Thierry Neuville made a mistake on Saturday morning. The victory moved Evans up to equal first in the Drivers' Championship standings, and it was his first since Sector Rally Finland in 2021 and his first on asphalt. After round 4 of 13, he's tied with Sebastian Ogier in terms of points, with Kalle Rovanperä trailing by just 1 point and Tanak by 3 more. In the end, Evans said, "We've obviously been working toward this for a very long time, but it all feels so insignificant at the moment. Now that the weekend is over, we're all back to missing our friends. That's all we can think about as soon as we cross the finish line. We fulfilled our promise to Greg's family to take advantage of the weekend. Right now, we're all focusing on them." His Toyota Gazoo racing team maintained its perfect Croatia Rally record while extending its lead over Hyundai Motorsports in the manufacturer's standings to 29 points. Now keep watching and share your thoughts in the comments. We're glad you're back on our channel. Let's get started now. With a furious pace early on Saturday afternoon, Tanak appeared to be developing into a serious threat to Evans in the season's first pure asphalt match. The Estonian was leading Spekalappi by 31.6 seconds at the finish line, but a transmission problem later on the penultimate day prevented him from closing the gap. Following his crash out of the lead in the previous round, Lappi lacked confidence in some of the dirtier sections of the road, but perseverance paid off with his first Hyundai i20N podium. 3 Toyotas, led by the reigning champion Rovanperä, were trailing him by 19.7 seconds. After changing a wheel in SS2 on Friday, the Finn sat outside the top 10 before pulling himself back up the standings with an impressive recovery drive. He edged teammate Sebastian Ogier by just 9.7 seconds on the final morning to take 4th place overall. Ogier, who had been the only leader in the championship prior to this rally, was left to lament the possibilities. Even though he finished 1 minute 28 seconds behind winner Evans, he also experienced additional setbacks on Friday when he stopped to change a wheel while in the lead and was assessed time penalties. The total amount of time lost was about 2.5 minutes. By moving ahead of Pierre-Louis Lube, who nurses Puma to the finish line with bent steering, Takamoto Katsuta made it 4 Toyotas in the top 6. Johan Rosell, Nikolai Gryzin, and Oliver Solberg, who compete in the WRC2 series, rounded out the top 4. The Croatia Rally once again produced an exciting event. It's a rally that not only benefits from coincidence, but also bites hard at even the smallest mistakes. Elfyn Evans crossed the finish line first in the World Rally Championship since Rally Finland in 2021, but other drivers did not have the same luck. The choice of who would emerge as the event's winners and losers rested with Rob Hansford and Adam Proud. What they came up with is as follows. Winners: Eleanor Evans. Exactly what Elfyn Evans needed was here. Thierry Neuville's crash undoubtedly helped him greatly, but ultimately, you have to be there to pick up the pieces, and that's exactly what he did. When everything went wrong to Neuville, he continued to follow closely behind the Hyundai and was ready to pounce. He never looked back after that. Tanak continued to put pressure on Evans, but as the weekend went on, Evans remained unfaltering, and the M Sport driver eventually settled for second. Evans won his first race since Rally Finland in 2021 by running flawlessly the entire time with no errors. Tanak's rally hasn't exactly been smooth sailing, but what rally has this year? Even though he had a few more problems with his Puma Rally 1 during the Croatia Rally, he was still Elfyn Evans' main rival. Additionally, he was frequently still able to set times, which put him right at the top of the timesheets. He has also moved back towards the front of the championship standings as Thierry Neuville, Sebastian Ogier, and Kalle Rovanperä all struggled. You have to admit that the 2019 world champion did a pretty good job of damage control. Yannick Rosell. This weekend, Johan Rosell can't be faulted. He earned the WRC2 victory and made a significant effort when it was necessary. He performed exceptionally well in the challenging conditions that Friday presented, which ultimately enabled him to drive to victory as he finished the first day of racing with a lead of 29.9 seconds over Nikolai Gryzin. As the weekend went on, Gryzin did close the gap, but Rosell never buckled under the pressure and held on to win his second match of 2023. Rosell put on a promising performance and will compete again at the Rally of Portugal. Losers: Nicolas Neuville. Well, this was definitely not how Neuville had envisioned his rally to go. He had complete control over the rally and did a flawless job of carrying it out. It would have been so heartwarming to see him and Hyundai take the top step in light of the tragic news of Craig Breen's passing. He and Hyundai were desperate for the victory. Any hopes of that, however, were dashed on SS11 when Neuville collided with a concrete post and injured his suspension. Speaking on Sunday morning, Neuville affirmed that the accident was caused by a driver's error. He braked half a meter too late, but it's those tiny differences that separate winning from losing. Even though Neuville's weekend was somewhat uplifted by winning the power stage, it must still be seen as a setback, especially given that his competitors all had challenging weekends. The best WRC season start Neuville had ever had before Croatia was in 2023. This is a setback and unquestionably represents a missed opportunity, and this year he's struggling to afford that. Jacques Ogier. For Sebastian Ogier, it ended up being a weekend of what might have been. The 8-time champion was only in the lead for one stage when he set the fastest times on SS1 before everything fell apart. He had to make a recovery drive after trying to be safe and getting a puncture on the weekend's second stage. But that quickly suffered a setback when he received the 1-minute fine for failing to wear a seatbelt at the time of the puncture, which dropped him even further down the list. Could a podium finish for Ogier have been in the cards without that penalty? It's reasonable to say that it might have been. However, 2 errors on the same stage ultimately cost him dearly and put an end to his aspirations to claim a 3rd victory in 2023. Toyota. Even though Toyota's decision to honor Craig Breen by only nominating 2 vehicles for manufacturer points as opposed to the usual 3 was a thoughtful gesture, the company may now be regretting its choice of drivers. Although Evans had a fantastic race, his performance won't count toward the manufacturer's championship, even though he still receives points in the driver's standings. Rovanperä and Ogier, 2 champions who you might have anticipated to be the ones more likely to be fighting for victory, were Toyota's choice to represent Croatia. However, neither of them was able to place in the top 3, with Rovanperä coming in 4th and Ogier coming in 5th. If the first few races of the season are any indication, Toyota will have a much tougher time winning the manufacturer's championship this year. So, these could be important lost points. However, at least this circumstance won't recur since 3 cars will be registered as usual for the remainder of the season. What are your thoughts on this? Please use the space below to post a comment. Ring the bell and subscribe to our channel to make sure you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. In the next video, we'll see you.